What's going on, YouTube? How everything's going this morning? So it's been asked on who am I? So by request, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. Currently 35 years old now, and I reside in Nicaragua for the time being. I'll be here probably until the end of this month. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about my journey. And because you may ask yourself, who is this guy facing this camera that is talking all of these things? Who is he? Okay. I was born in Mississippi, in a place called Utica, Mississippi, a very, very rural place. Okay. Came from a single parent home. I was raised by my mom, but for part of my life, I was raised by my grandparents. And my grandparents were very poor. I mean, they lived on the Social Security system. They received assistance and things of that nature, whatever, you know. And it became to a point where it became normal to be broke. It wasn't like really like a big thing to be like, oh, I just thought, hey, maybe that's just the way people are for a while. But I knew that there was more to life than that. So with the options that I had at that time, I was heavy into music, right? Music. I was in the marching band. I was playing the saxophone. And I had pretty much won a scholarship to a school. And my mom, I was 17 at the time when I was going through this. My mom didn't want me to join the military. But I knew the military would be a way for me to get out, to explore the world, to do something. My mom, I had to fight with her tooth and nail because I wasn't 18. 18, you can make your own decisions. So I just said, okay, whatever, you know. So finally she said, okay, that's what you want to do. You join the military band. So I went into the military, 17 years old. And military had other plans for me. Didn't join the military band, I can tell you that. They sent me to another place, nice tropical place called Somalia. You should go check it out sometime. I went to Somalia, Mogadishu. I was there doing Black Hawk Down. Maybe one day I'll share that story with you. Went there, did the military. I was Somalia, Mogadishu, 93. I was stationed in Guantanamo Bay. I was in the U.S. Army, by the way. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, for 6 months. We were there for riot control. They had the Haitians and the Cubans on base at that time. Now Al-Qaeda's there. So I did Guantanamo Bay. Stood in the military for 7 years. After I left the military, I went to UNLV. UNLV, for those you don't know, used to be a good basketball school. It's University of Nevada, Las Vegas. The Running Rebs went there, and that's why I actually found out that, hey, I probably want to get into business. Used to buy products in the U.S., things of that nature, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? You can't buy products in the U.S. and keep your head above water. So a friend of mine, with our limited knowledge or anything, we actually took a trip to Hong Kong. We had a friend accompany us who actually lived in Hong Kong, showed us around, showed us some ins and outs. And then for those of you who've been to China, Hong Kong is very civilized. But then from Hong Kong, we went into mainland China, which is like going from the U.S. to a third world country. So that was pretty intimidating at first. Got our feet wet and things of that nature, whatever. So I was like, okay, feeling it, I got it. So I went back to China again, but this time my wife went with me. And this is when we were kind of, not experts, but we knew a little more what we were doing. So since then, I've been doing business with China, with my business for a while. And I had an idea, hold on, let me skip here. So went to China, I've done that. And like I said, since then I have a business relationship with those guys. And I have something in the making that I think is going to be big. and just from learning every year and doing things to be on a more worldwide type scale. So I'm learning every day. I make a lot of these videos is because I think that it's good for me, because if I take the responsibility to say things, I have to live up to a certain standard. And by me coming on these videos, it helps me say, hey, I can't be a guy that says to do this and do that, and I don't do it my own stuff in my life. So I think that the best way to learn something is to teach it. So it's required me to read more books, to listen to audiobooks, to listen to financial channels, to put myself in situations that a lot of people haven't put themselves in. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I mean, there's a lot more to the thing, but I mean, I think that's a good way for you guys to see who you're actually talking to. You know, I've experienced a lot, I've seen a lot, I've learned a lot, made a lot of mistakes, but I think mistakes are great things. So I'm just a guy that's striving to be successful, just like I hope everyone else is. You know, I'm trying to live the so-called American dream, or whatever that may be. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. So if you got any questions, comments, or anything, let me know. Signing off.